Hi everyone. I'm going to cover today how to submit your tax info in Google AdSense for YouTube for new creators. So if you're a new creator, you started your channel and you want to know how do you get paid, that is what we are going to talk about in this video. How to set up that payment in YouTube or Google AdSense is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about this step by step in detail. What is the latest and new process as of today? I'm going to share my personal experience. So my account also got monetized for the first time, and that is why I thought I'll share it with you and share the challenges or difficulties that I face. So you don't have to face the same. So again, like I said, set up AdSense for your first payment. That is how you get paid for YouTube. What are the prerequisites when you have to set this up? All of that information that you need to do, and what is that US tax information? So you'll see a lot of information that you're not used to seeing. This is the first time probably many of you are seeing this information. So that is, I'll try to cover all of that, explain all of those confusions so that this process is smooth for you. So this process is not lengthy, it is small. Once you go through these details, I don't think it is going to take you much time. So let's get started without wasting any time. So the first thing is that, you'll start getting paid on YouTube when you have at least 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 watch hours in the past 12 months. Once you've achieved any of these milestones, at that point, you can start using the YouTube Partner Program or what is called YPP to monetize your channels with ads. So these are the prerequisites that you need to make sure that are met before you start monetizing your account, or you want to set up your payment. Before you've achieved this milestone, before you've set up your account for YouTube Partner Program, you will not be able to set up any of this. So now let's say you've reached this milestone. So congratulations to you on that. You've got either 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours watch time in the past 12 months. Now what will happen is you will automatically get an email from Google Payments like you see here to verify your identity. So until now you've been doing all the hard work, creating all the videos on YouTube. Now it's the time to get paid. So what Google will need is to complete this verification that you are creating this, this is not a fraud, this is not a bot or anything. You'll need to provide additional information, and what you need to do is you need to primarily for the first step issue your upload the image of your current government issued photo ID. So and make sure the name matches exactly as on the government ID that you're uploading. In case that does not match, this could get rejected. And then what it says is this verification process might take a few days, right? But the catch here is it happens almost instantly, and I'll show you how. So you and then once the verification is complete, you will not be able to update your information, obviously, unless it has changed, and then there's a different process you'll have to follow. But yeah, you'll not be able to change your name on the payments profile. You'll have to create a new channel or a page, something. So there are just some tips on submitting the documents. Make sure you capture all the four corners of your entire document. It happened to me. I had to upload it once or twice, but then it went through. So make sure the brightness and all is enough there. And I'm not going to go in the details of all of this because this is what is a prerequisite that before you set up your information for payment, you just need to verify your identity and you need to upload your ID proof, and the image should be clear, readable, and that is it. So once you've done that, here you can upload your Aadhaar card or your PAN card or your passport. So some nationalized document. I don't know if other documents like voter ID card or your driving license are also accepted or not, but these are some generally accepted documents that there should not be any issue with. So once you've uploaded this, what it says is almost instantly, you will get an email that your identity verification is successful, that Google was able to verify your account. The ID proof that you uploaded looks good. In case there are queries, they might get back to you, but usually this, if you followed the steps, you updated the document, your identity verification is successful. So the first step to getting paid is done. You verified your identity. The next is that they need to verify your payment address. So Google is making you payment, they need to make sure where you are residing. So what they'll do is the address that you've added in your account, they will send you a PIN number on this, and when you receive this, you'll have to verify your address by entering that PIN number. So um, you have to verify this, and then if you don't add this, you'll not be able to get paid until then. So after your ID proof, you have to verify your address. It takes usually 3 weeks. It might take 3 to 4 weeks as well. So if you get usually your documents, you will get this document as well. So for me it was delayed, and what happens is they will also send you a reminder that we did send you a pin. What you can do is you can request another pin. So after 3 weeks, if you've not received your pin, you can request another pin, but that does not mean that your original pin will not reach to you. So you will have submitted a duplicate request, which is okay. So your first, if for example after 3 weeks the next day you get your pin, that is also okay, but you can request for another pin. Sometimes it takes more time to get this address. So what this says is, if you received your pin, go ahead, enter and verify that pin into your AdSense account. If not, you should check your address. You could request a new pin, like I just said. So, and the address must be verified within 4 months of the first pin. So you have a lot of time. You have 4 months to verify your pin. If that still does not happen, you might have to reach out to Google or YouTube. But this usually works. So this worked for me pretty seamlessly. I did not receive the pin in 3 weeks, but after that I got it. So now you've verified your identity. You've verified your address. The next step after, and this all happens few days before you are reaching your threshold. Now you reached your threshold, so you do not get paid until you reach the minimum threshold. We'll be talking about it in the coming video. So what will happen is, now you've reached that threshold, you'll get an email from Google Payments that your payments are on hold. And then, like you verified your identity and address, you need to verify you need to update your information here. You need to update your tax information and the form of payment where you want to receive this payment. And for that, it says is you have to sign into your AdSense account. One advice here is, you could avoid signing in from here, right? You can go directly into YouTube Studio and navigate directly from there. And I'll, in the coming video, I'll show you why I was saying not to go in from here. But having said that, you can still go in, sign in from the AdSense account here. But my preferred mode would be going into YouTube Studio. So when you go into your channel YouTube Studio, this is what you see, that the same thing, that so you go into Studio, and then this is what you see, that there is attention required. You need to submit your tax information and provide form of payment to complete this. So once you click on complete in AdSense, it will automatically log you in and take you into AdSense page. And as soon as it brings you to this, you will see this is the AdSense page that it will bring you to. You will see the same thing, that your YouTube payments on hold, because you have you need to fix this. So what you start seeing here is, if you log in directly from AdSense, or you go from your YouTube page, studio page as well, it says you need to add your payment info and connect your site. So it says, enter, tell us about you, how do your ads look, how does your site look, connect your site to AdSense. So for YouTube, you might get confused if it is for the first time. You don't need to do all of this, and I'll show you what you need to do instead. So what you need to do is, you need to go to this payments tab here, and then after that you go into this payments info tab. Now what you see here is this payments account. So there are two options here. One is AdSense. So there are other usages of AdSense. So you don't have to use your AdSense. Choose YouTube account from whichever country you are making your videos, or wherever you want to get paid. So choose that account. As soon as you do that, you will see that there are some issues with your payment, because you were getting a message that your payment is on hold. Now, if you see, this is my earning for last 1, 2, or 3 or 4 months. So as soon as you reach the threshold, so even if it's 12 months or it's 1 month or 6 months, until you reach $100, which is the threshold here for India, it varies by country. So you can Google, payment thresholds for different countries, and you can see that. So what it says is that, because I've reached 100% of my payment threshold, if you see, my payment amount due is $106, which is more than $100. So that is why I am getting this message that I need to set up my payment account. So what you have to do is, you have to click here on this small little arrow to see what are the issues with your payment account. And what you see here is, it says that we need to provide the tax information. It might take a few minutes. Then we also need to provide a payment method where we want to receive the payment. So let's go into this one by one. So let's first go into entering your tax information. So you click on update, it will bring you to this page. Now, what this page says is, it might seem a little weird, different, but every YouTube partner program creator regardless of their location in the world. So whether you are making videos from India or Europe or Australia, anywhere, you are required to provide US tax info to Google. Now, you might say that I don't have any US information, right? Because you're based in another country, but you need to note that Google is based out of US, and under the US law, Google is required to deduct taxes from your YouTube earnings, which is if people are from US, they are watching your videos, then YouTube needs to or Google needs to deduct taxes on that, and that is why this US tax info is what you have to fill. Even if there are no US viewers, tax will not be deducted, but this filling this information is mandatory to get paid on YouTube. So if you want to learn more, you can click on this, and it will give you some more information about the same that I've just explained you. So what it says also is that you should submit this form as soon as possible. Otherwise, Google will have to withhold 30% of your payment. So let's say you've submitted your payment method, you've not submitted this, ideally you will not get paid. Your payments will still stay on hold. But in case your amount is high, they start paying you out, right? They will have withhold 30% tax, whereas ideally your withholding will be less than 30%. That we'll be covering in later in this video as well. So what it says is until your form is approved, Google might continue to deduct 30%. So it is in your favor to submit this if you want lesser tax to be deducted from US. Otherwise, you'll have to file probably US returns and claim refunds, which might not be possible. So best is to update this information as soon as possible and apply for lower tax deductions. This is what it says, that Google has a responsibility as per the US law and internal IRC, Internal Revenue Code, to withhold taxes and report the taxes to the US government, and that is why they're asking this information from you. So then next, what you have to do is, it says you don't have any tax information on file, and that is what we're going to do. We're going to add the tax information, and you might also want to manage your delivery preferences if you want to receive this information in paper email. Ideally, in the era of digitalization, we should not choose paper mail. This might take a lot of time, and it might ask you for hell lot of information. So the recommendation here is that you go for email deliveries, and you can manage delivery preferences from here, and this will come later as well in the video. So it says this is my mailing address that I had set up when I was setting up my account. So now you click on this add information to add your tax information. What it says is, please plan that it will take you 15 to 20 minutes. So, and after every 1 hour, it might log you out to verify your identity so that no person is doing a fraud or something. So first it will send you, you'll have to enter your credentials for Google, and then you can go ahead. Then it also says that make sure you use the correct payment profile where you want to get paid. Otherwise, there might be some issues with that. Then you might be asked to provide some additional information, and Google cannot advise you on tax matters. You'll have to take help from your chartered accountants or your lawyers or your advisors, tax advisors. So these are just some warnings or precautions that Google gives you before you start. So click on start form. These are just for your information. And then what it will do is, like I said, it will first have to verify you. So you'll see a screen on the next screen to enter your username and password, and then you click on next. As soon as you do, it will bring you to this page, and then what you have to do is, first step, US tax information. So it asks you what type of an account is the account that you're creating. Is it an individual or non-individual? I am creating it for myself. I am not using any company or partnership fund, so I've chosen individual. Please choose the same accordingly, and then click on next. Then the second question is, are you a citizen or resident in US? For me, I'm making this out of US, so that is why I have chosen no. Choose accordingly. If you're a person in US, the options will obviously change, and they might be a little easier because or a little different, I should say. Yeah, so click on no, and then what it says is that depending on the options that we've chosen, that we are an individual who is not a citizen or resident of US, we need to select a W8 tax form type. Many of us in different countries don't know what this W8 tax form is. So these are again forms by the IRS in the US, Internal Revenue Services, that requires that every foreign individuals must file this form to verify the country of your residence, as well as if you qualify a lower tax of withholding, which means the US entity should not deduct 30% but 0 or 15 or 10 or lesser tax. That is why you need to submit this form. So what it says is, because you've chosen an individual, this W8 Ben form is applicable. Otherwise, if you had chosen non-individual, W8 ECI form might have been applicable. So now what we have to do is start filling this W8 Ben form. It's not very complex. It's easy. Just keep following the instructions that I'm showing ahead. So the next step is enter your name, who is the individual or the actual beneficial owner for whom this payment should be credited. Then if you're doing this business in the name of something else like technical person ABC or whatever, you should enter your name in which you have your YouTube account. And then what you need to do is enter your country of citizenship. For me, it is India. Then this is the key. So it asks you for tax identification number. So even though it is optional, but it is recommended. I have heard and read, and that is what I followed for myself, is that in India, I entered my PAN number, which is permanent account number, which is my tax identification number in my country, which is India. Even though it is optional, it is recommended because Google might come back asking you for this information. So enter your PAN. So for somebody who's in India, you could be thinking to enter Aadhaar number. So Aadhaar number is not your TIN number. You can enter PAN here again, even though it is optional. And then click on next. You don't have to enter a US ITIN or SSN number. If if you had stayed in US some time before, you should enter your US ITIN or SSN if you have that, or it is optional, you may skip that. So go to next, and then what it asks you is for address. So permanent resident address. So if it is a PO box address is what it is saying, it might require some additional information if it's not your permanent address, but you want these payments to be received at some other address, is what it is saying. So enter your address. If your mailing address is same as present permanent resident address, just check box and then click on next. Otherwise, you will have to enter this information if your permanent and mailing address are different as well. So if, for example, on your ID proof, your permanent address is mentioned, but you want the mails to be going on a different address, you could choose a different permanent and mailing address and just click on next. The next is tax treaty, and this is the primary reason you're filling this information. So what it says is India and US have the tax treaty. So based on the country you've chosen, it will show you whether you have a tax treaty or no. If you want to learn more, you can click upon this link and it will show you some additional information that you can read through. Now, what it says is, are you claiming a reduced rate of withholding under a tax treaty? Obviously, yes, we don't want 30% taxes to be deducted. We want lesser taxes to be deducted. So we've chosen yes. And the reason for that is because we are a resident of the country, which is mentioned here, and that has a treaty with US. That is what is shown here. Um, Next is special rates and taxes. Now, what it says is that, for like I've mentioned earlier, even though you're based out of US, if certain people in US are watching you, then the US company is liable to deduct taxes. So what it is saying is, what kind of services are you providing within AdSense? So just go ahead. What you need to choose is, this is the only option that you will see. So just don't go at what Article 7 and what paragraph 1 is. This is as per the treaty. So it says that for this type of income, which is services such as AdSense, the YouTube videos that you're creating, you might be applicable for a 0% reduced rate instead of 30%. And then what it says is that why I meet the terms of this article is because I'm a tax resident of this country that has a treaty, and I don't earn any income which is attributable to a permanent establishment or a company located in the US. Then second is, you have to check this motion picture and TV royalties. Again, this paragraph you can choose this is as per the treaty that India and US have. So as per that, you have a 15% here. And then again, same thing, why are you how do you meet this? And then again, for copyright royalties. So, this is the paragraph between the tax treaty between India and US, and this is the withholding rate. So, if you see here, by doing all of this, you are asking Google not to deduct 30%, but deduct either 0% or 15% taxes on the basis of the video that you've created, the people who are watching from US. The next step is again checking this checkbox, click on next, and then what are the activities performed in US? So it is asking you, are you doing some activities within US? No, we are located outside of US. We are making videos from outside US, even though US viewers are watching it. So you just click no, and then you certify that the information that I'm providing is located outside US. Click on next. The next is tax reporting. So there are other US related forms that the US authorities might issue you, right? Like the 1099K or 1099 miscellaneous forms. So these these are the forms like you get issued 16A forms, or the TDS forms in India. The IRS might issue you these forms, that these are the incomes that have been paid out to you by Google entities. These are more for the entities who are paying you out, right? And for you as well, to if you have to claim any tax deductions or refunds, etc. So it will issue you these forms. And then what it says is go paperless. It is recommended because you're based out of India. If you want paper, then it might take a lot of other time. And then you accept to this paperless delivery by checking this box, and then you click on next. If you have still prefer to get documents by mail, you can choose this option and follow the instructions that follow. What it says is just previewing this document that you've filed all of these documents. If you want to download these documents and keep a copy, you can click on each of these links and save it for your reference. So it just populates that W8 form that it would be submitting to IRS on your behalf. And you can then what you have to do is just check this box that I confirm I've reviewed these documents to my best of my knowledge and these are true, correct, and complete. And then just click on next. Then you have to certify and sign a similar thing, a tax form certification, that you are declaring that you've examined this information. You are the beneficial owner. You're not doing it for somebody else. You are not a US person. You're not earning any income in the US. You don't have a business or trade in US. Similarly, you are doing it as per the treaty that is there. And then what you are saying is that if any information changes, the one that you're declaring, you will submit this new form. You'll have to go ahead, submit this new form within 30 days. The information changes, so that Google or YouTube can take action accordingly. Then next you have to do is unchanged status affidavit. So what this says is all this information that you are providing, since when is this information true? So I've chosen the current information. You could also choose, since you're doing this information, filling this information for the first time, right? And since now that you're filling it, this information is applicable. So this is not changed. However, if you want to enter a previous year and date, you'll have to enter that. For example, I was known by this and this person from 2021 to 2023, and now from 2023 onwards this information is there. So again, this is optional. You don't need to enter this information if you're entering the year and this description. And then what it says is, because of the information that you're submitting, there might be a refund. If, for example, your 30% tax was deducted earlier, now you're liable to 0% or 15%. You might get a refund for the current calendar year only. If you're crossing across the calendar year, you might not be able to get a refund. Now what you're doing is you're just certifying it. You're doing your signature. You're acknowledging all of the information that you've entered is correct, and that yes, you are the beneficial owner named above. Then you provide your name and you click on submit, and as simple as that, your information is submitted. You get a message that your tax information has been accepted. Just in case Google or YouTube wants additional information, they might reach out to you by email. So what it says is that your form is immediately almost approved, right? And then all of this information that you've claimed, all of this information, and then it shows you your mailing address. Again, manage delivery preferences. I've shown you we've chosen paperless. If you want to choose paper delivery, you can always go ahead here and change the information. Now if you see, you come back to this page, right? And then what it will happen is, as soon as you see, there is still an issue with the payment. Why? You click on this drop down here, arrow here, and then what you'll see is you've entered the tax information, but if you've still not entered the payment method, so choose a payment method, click on update here, go here. You've not added any payment method yet, add a payment method, and then add new wire details, which is you're saying I want to get paid electronically. I don't want to get paid by a check or something. So you have to enter all of this information, which is your name on the bank account, your bank name, or your Swift code, your account number. All of this information you have to follow here. So for example, I entered my name, my bank, the Swift code you can get from Google. This is common across, for this bank across India. It is not varying by city. So just Google it and get this information, enter your account number, and then simply, just if you're adding two accounts, just set this one as the primary method. So let's say this is at least one has to be primary. So first one is my primary, save. If you want to add another, just go back, add another, but choose one of them as primary, click on save. What you see here is that you've added a payment method within this YouTube India AdSense account, that whenever you have reached your threshold, Google or YouTube must transfer this to this account, and this is what it shows here. So you might still be seeing this message if you're trying to see you immediately. Just a tip that I want to share. It might take some time for this error message to go, might for their systems to get updated. So you can refresh or check back after some time on the AdSense account where you were. Or what you can do is you can come back to your studio page. You can see that, my payment method error was gone, but it was still showing submit tax information. You can again ignore this error, or you can check back after some time, and then this should not be where you can, click on complete in AdSense, and then you'll not see this. So now that you've entered everything, your payment was done. You will receive a message whenever you've received your payment. So you'll get an email, check your recent payment. You've received your payment in your account. So, and if you have not received your payment within 5 business days, check back with your bank. This is important because first time when you are receiving your foreign remittance, some of the banks like HDFC might reach out to you to ask for an authorization letter to release a foreign remittance. Some banks like HDFC might also ask you to open a current account if you've entered your savings account. I don't know if it's mandatory to receive it in your current account. As per the information that I've searched, as far as I know, it is okay to receive this in your savings account as well. But if you become a big YouTuber, if you're receiving recurring payments here, you might as well want to open a current account, because the payment code with which this is made requires you to have a current account and not a savings account for this information. Otherwise, you might get some queries from the bank or the tax department, or your payments might go on hold sometime. I hope this video was helpful to set up your payment. Good luck and congratulations for your payment. Like, comment, share, and subscribe on this video if you like this, because this gives us just more motivation to make videos like this to help you. Thank you so much for watching.